All right. Good morning once again. Good morning, everyone. Um, I want to welcome you to this free session on starting up your business and using your business to sponsor yourself. First, I want to believe that those we have on this platform are people that are ready to start a business in the United Kingdom and also wanting to use their business to sponsor themselves. And one of the one of the things that bets this idea for while I try to give people this idea is because I see a lot of migrants when we come in here, we struggle with getting sponsorship or getting a job that sponsors and all of that. And it became a very disturbing news when you have migrants buy COS, and COS means certificate of sponsorship and all of that. Buy this certificate of sponsorship from so-called healthcare providers and all. And unfortunately, after getting to buy this sponsorship, the COS, they are unable to get a job and what have you. So, and they are unable to even work uh, with those company. And some they bought this sponsorship application or this sponsorship this cost for as high as £10,000, £8,000, and thereabouts, without having anything to show for it. And I thought to myself that it is when people have the right information, they are able to make, the right decision. You could actually start your own. A lot of people back in, their home country, they've got a lot of business going for them. They've got companies going for them and all of that. There's nothing stopping you from starting that company right here in the United Kingdom and using that uh, company to sponsor yourself. And that is why we are here today. And my name is Olamide Adewiji, and I'm a business consultant, and I'll be guiding you through the seminar today. And should you have more questions after my presentation, you could, ask as much as possible. All right. Thank you very much once again. So let's go into it. Okay, so can we see my screen, please? Just confirm if you can see my screen. Can we see my screen, please? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, great. Great. Thank you. So, um, what is self-sponsorship? Self-sponsorship is a process where, an individual sets up their own company in the UK and obtain a sponsorship license for that company, then use that sponsorship license to sponsor themselves. And typically, the kind of sponsorship license um, you can apply for, it's the skilled worker visa route, which is generally called as tier two visa. All right. This is the skilled worker visa, not healthcare visa, the skilled worker visa, because healthcare visa is also a form of tier two. So we have two types of tier two, basically the tier two skilled worker and tier two health and care visa. But what we're talking about here is the tier two skilled worker visa. So if you go on gov.uk, you will generally not find anything called self-sponsorship. So, but this is the name generally given to it. So it is a process where you start your own company and use your company to obtain a sponsorship license and use that license to sponsor yourself or your spouse. If I mean, if you have a partner here, you could sponsor your spouse, then you maybe become the dependent of your spouse. But generally, the sponsorship license you'll be applying for, it's the skilled worker visa. And some people do ask this question that, how is it possible to start a company even when you don't have, enough capital and all of that? And you've not been here for a long time, and would they be able to grant you that sponsorship, I mean that's license and what have you? So I'm going to just go straight to the requirements. If so far you fulfill requirements, even if the company is a day old or 2 day old, you are eligible for sponsorship license. That is the law of the land. So far you meet the criteria. In fact, on gov.uk, the criteria is zero for startup companies. Between 0 months and 18 months, you can apply. And once you exceed 18 months, there is more, requirements. So let's talk about the requirements to starting your own business and, starting your own company. So, and in that respect, um, there is no limitation to the kind of business you can start or the kind of company you want to start. So, I mean, you could want to start a cleaning business. You could want to sell African store food. You could want to, do consultancy. You could want to any kind of business. There is no limitation. The only There are two businesses that um, there is no limitation to it, but we do not guide people in that. I mean, exclusively, we don't guide people in that. There are just two businesses, which is one, healthcare, because the healthcare process is quite rigorous because of the a lot of happenings that have happened with a lot of people in recent time, you know, getting an healthcare company, getting a license and begin to sell course and all of that. So we don't dabble into healthcare because we don't want anything. And also it takes time to process. And I'm sure a lot of people that are interested in this kind of thing, they really want it in as quick as possible. So for healthcare it take about 6 to 8, even years. It take a year, 2 years, but that we don't do that. We don't, and I don't encourage anybody to, if you really have a genuine business, you really want to do business, I would not say go into healthcare if that's not what your line is before now, except that's what you've been doing before coming to the United Kingdom. Okay, just give me a moment to add um, this people. All right. So, and the second type of business that we do not support is what's it called? The food you want to like cooked food, like a cafeteria. You want to start cooking food and all of that. It's quite and it's quite an handful process because the law of the land again. There are a lot of bodies that need to certify before you can start cooking food for people and all of that. So that's quite very huge. That takes a long time to really get approval. So we don't do that as well. So those are the two things we don't do. Aside that, any other business idea you have will fly. Be it consultancy, you want to sell raw food. Yes, you can sell raw food, African store, and all of that. They work. But cooking food, no, that's another. It's a different ball game entirely. So I'm not limiting the business idea. I'm just giving you like examples of businesses you could do. Uh, it could be cleaning, it could be drying, it could be maybe a technology company, it could be a taxi company, it could be whatever the idea is, whatever you think you can do or you have done before in your home country and you think you can replicate here or whatever, even if you've not done it before, if it's a new idea, I mean, you all welcome to start afresh. All right, and one of the things people should know is that this economy actually support businesses and they want business to thrive. So you are in an environment that really wants business to thrive. So uh, I don't know why my PowerPoint slide is hanging, but I'm gonna just I'm just trying to. So I'm trying to. Let me know when you can see my screen again, please. All right. Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes. Think there's a problem with this guy. I want to do a full view so that it will be very bold on your end, but keep getting something wrong. It's giving me this. Keep saying something is wrong. Okay, we might just have to. Okay, at least we can manage this. Can we see the screen this way? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, great. So
Yes.
now these are so having spoken about, you can open or you can start any kind of business. So these are the requirements to start the business. One, you need to set up your company, and you need to set up your company in the UK, all the paperwork in terms of registration with the company house, HRMC and all of that. You need a solicitor to drop the application. I mean, this is a requirement for you to be able to sponsor yourself now. Then you need a settled person. When we mean a settled person, it could be a British citizen or someone with an ILR to be either a director or a shareholder or an employee of your organization. And of course, you need an office space. Then you need to set up some other stuff we call PE and all of that with HRMC and company house. You need to come up with an employer insurance liability. You need to have a business bank account. In most cases, you do not need VAT. Most new organizations do not need to register for VAT. You only need to register for VAT when your gross profit is already hitting £90,000, and that would be most likely, I mean, during the tenure of you doing business. So those are the requirements. I'm just trying to add the new people just joining. We try to wait for them, but that's it. So these are the requirements that you need to be able to set up your own company in the United Kingdom. Now, once you have all of this, then you can submit your sponsorship application. And once you submit your sponsorship application and the application is granted, the license is granted, then um, you need to then set up a home office. We need to, as a sponsored, as a licensed sponsor, the home office would need to have what's it called, set up a platform. So you'll be working hand in hand with your case advisor to set up a platform for you. That platform is where you'll be able to generate and issue your own course. And of course, when you issue your own course, or for yourself or for your dependents or for your spouse or whatever. So for then you are able to use that course to apply for visa. Just like for those that came in through student routes, when you were going to apply for your visa, you needed a CAS. That is the certificate of acceptance from a school. And for those that have maybe been in care that got tier two and all of that, just as you need a course to apply for your visa. Now you would be able to issue yourself a course and use that course to apply for your visa. All right. And okay, I wrote here, take note of the new visa rule. We are all aware, if you've been in the UK since the beginning of this year, you're all aware of the March and April visa rule. Yes, so for a skilled worker visa, you need to be able to pay yourself at least £38,700 in a year. However, if you are coming in from students, you will be able to do the new entrant visa rule. The new entrant visa rule allows you to pay about 70% of that, which is about 30,000 per annum for yourself. Then, or if the job you want to sponsor yourself in falls in the immigration salary list, you can check up the immigration salary list 2024 on gov.uk. Jobs that fall in that threshold could actually pay themselves 30,960, which is a skilled worker route. And there you go, you have your visa, and of course, your tier two visa, 5 years, you can then apply for your ILR or citizenship. Now, this is where we come in terms of how do you go about setting up this company and all of that. So we are going to help you to set up the company. So all you need, the business plan, the convincing proposal and business strategy to the company house and home office to let them know that yes, you have a valid idea, you have a valid business, you'll be able to push this business, and this business will be successful, because they need something very convincing and all of that. So this is where we come in. We are going to help you set up all the company, your registration, limited liability, and all of that, and the convincing plans and all of that to the home office to be able to grant you sponsorship license. Then all the required documents um, would also be helping you in preparing all the documents. Now, the I need to state that there are two things we would not help you with. I think there are two things we will not help you with. So one is getting a what's it called, a British citizen or an ILR, or somebody with an ILR. No, that is outside the scope of. So if you want to do this route, you need to get a British citizen yourself or somebody with an ILR, maybe a friend, a family friend or something. Most and I've spoken to, I mean, some of the people who've done it for, they are like, where do they get British? The reality is, when you need something, and you would just find, you would be able to at least get people around, or see people around that are willing to help or support you. And the real fact is, there is no implication whatsoever for the British citizen. There is no implication whatsoever. It's just for home office to validate that if you can form an association, I mean, if you can form a friendship, or somebody who is a British citizen or who is settled here can be a director in your company. It shows that yes, you genuinely want to do business here, and you have plans to be here for a long time. So that is the justification for that. So we are not going to help you to get that. You would get that yourself. And like I said, it's not, you would be able to get, because from experience, people have spoken to, people that we have helped to secure the sponsorship license, most of them are able to get this what's it called, British citizen or citizen. And when we say you have a British citizen as a director, it does not mean they have a share. You note the word I use. They could either be a director, they could be a shareholder, or an employee. So if you want to say they are an employee, we can wrap your application like that. But I think the safe place, I always ask people to, let me have these guys that are just coming in. I don't know, Emeke, you've been going and coming in. I don't know what the problem is. Are you struggling with your internet or something? So, okay, so um, yes, I was explaining about the British citizen. It could either be a director or a shareholder and an employee. Of course, everybody knows what an employee is. A director, a director does not necessarily mean is a shareholder. A shareholder means somebody that has a shares in your company. So while we are doing the company registration, we are going to apportion a percentage of your company to that business, to that British citizen. However, if you just want the person as a dummy, uh, yeah, I think you just want the person as a dummy on your business, no shareholder, no, the person is not doing anything. You just need the person just for record purpose. You can put the person as a director. As a director, it does not automatically translate into shareholding. So he could be a director and not have a share. You understand? So, and from experience, we always advise to make them a director, because you are not bearing any burden of paying them anything or whatever. And even for the British citizen, if somebody that is helping you, it's easy for them, because they don't have to, do any communication or whatever on your behalf. But if they are an employee, you have to pay them. If they are shareholder, they have to have share in your business. So the director is the safe space when you have discussion or conversation with the person. that you are using. And of course, when you have that set, when we prepare your application and all of that, and you have the sponsorship license, then setting up your sponsorship management platform with the Home Office will also take up what's it called? We'll also take up that correspondent. We'll take up that setting up that platform. And why this is very important is because as a new company, you're just starting the company like a 0 months or 1 month old company. The Home Office will not give you a cost allocation, like, for example, let's say an established organization that already has employees and all of that. Those ones can get 20, 30, and whatever slots at a go. But the Home Office will most likely not give you more than 1 or 2 slots for cost in that year, at least for your first year of running. So if you then, how do I put it? If you then mistakenly, in the process of setting up, you issue a wrong cost or you issue a wrong identification number, unfortunately, the Home Office cannot do anything. That cost is already wasted. And if, imagine, Home Office gives you one and you've wasted it, the whole thing is, I mean, the whole process you've gone through is just waste of effort and resources. So that's why we take up that setting up, because it's something very critical and you need to get it once. So we don't want you to dabble into things and get things mixed up. So that's one of the service um we also render. Then of course, sorry, can you mute yourself, please, if you are not? Okay. All right, good. So now the next one is the um assigning the certificate of sponsorship. So once we are done setting up all of this with the Home Office, then we then help you in assigning your certificate of sponsorship. And once you have your certificate of sponsorship, of course, you can go ahead to do your normal visa application. You can go ahead to do your normal visa application. We don't do visa application for you, but we can always give you guidance on how to apply for your visa. I think generally everybody are comfortable applying for visa. I mean, from 95% of people we've seen, and there be a lot of people, after all, to be in the UK in the first place, you applied for a visa. So a lot of people are very comfortable applying for. However, if you want us to apply for your visa, we can always do that at an extra cost. So then we would also give you training on how to then use the sponsorship management platform in subsequent years. Because when the sponsorship license is granted, it is granted for 10 years. So your company for 10 years can sponsor people in. And every year, the Home Office, the way we are going to prepare this stuff, the Home Office would be automatically assigning costs to you. So every year, if, for example, they give you 2 slots at the start, every year they'll be giving you two slots for the next 10 years. So should, in case, while you're growing your business, you have reasons to, employ people and all of that. So you don't need to, call on us to help you issue costs, set up all the platform. So we'd also offer to train you. That's part of offer to train you as part of this package while we are setting up your platform, so that you can continuously be compliant to Home Office in the event Home Office wants to audit you. And Home Office generally do not audit people. It's like 1 out of 100. They audit people when they sense a foul play. And I'm sure we know what a foul play is. For example, you are running a company where your profit in a year is just barely £20,000 or thereabouts, and you are is already showing on Home Office record that you have 10 employee, like, and these 10 people are not getting paid. They are not seeing their tax. Some of these things. I'm sure people that have, maybe people that have been in care. So I'm using care as a reference point because of what we have seen that happen over the past 1, 2, 3 years. And, you give people sponsorship and they don't get to work and all of that. So, when they sense things like that, that is when they audit. But if you are very sincere doing your business, running your company and all of that, and of course you sponsor yourself or your spouse, that is a very legit stuff, and you keep doing your business and all of that. You don't have issue with home office. Even if you want to bring in, let's say, one or two people every year to support your business and you are really doing fine, I mean, that's good. But in the events where you're bringing in 10, 15, 20 people, and in real sense, the home office are not able to check your tax, that those guys are paying tax, that means they are not working, or maybe they are working, you are paying them, and that could invite an home office audit. So generally, legally, we do not advise people to do things that are illegal. If you are doing your business, fine, sponsor yourself. If you genuinely need people to work on your business as you grow, yes, sponsor them, but be sure that you are able to pay them the salary, because you shouldn't. Anyway, this is just a guidance. So these are part of the training we'll be giving to you, and these are part of the services. Now, the next so the next thing is the processing time it takes. So this takes for us to prepare all the application and all of that, it takes about 3 weeks, and um, it could be, so I put it on the average of 3 weeks, but it could be faster depending on each respective client. All right, but it could be faster, but average of 3 weeks. Application submission 1 week, and that makes it 1 month. Then home office, what's it called? Home office, once the application is dropped under 1 month, it takes home office 8 weeks to be able to grant sponsorship license. It takes 8 weeks for them to be able to review it. However, if maybe your visa is expiring soon and you are locked for time, you could do the priority. Home office always have a priority. The most times, I would not say all the time, but in 95% of the case, home office always have a priority service where you can pay an extra £500 to be able to drop your application. And that priority, it's just 2 weeks, 10 working days, so that you can have your application in 2 weeks. So if you do priority, you can have this done in a space of 6 weeks, or maximum of 2 weeks. But if you want to do the normal, what's it called, routes, it takes an average. That's why I said it takes an average of 2 to 3 months to complete all of this process. Now, to complete all of this process, then there was a part I skipped in. So in the requirements, the part of the lawyer and solicitor, yes, you need a lawyer and or a solicitor to be able to drop that application. So you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to stress yourself, because we are doing this in partnership with a well-recognized law firm in the United Kingdom. So they will be providing the lawyer you'll be using. So, and this is the cost of everything in total. I think there are some people trying to join. I hope they're able to catch up uh, with all that has been said. All right. So you're welcome. If you are just joining, this is the free session for self-sponsorship. So this is the lawyer cost is £3,000, and our own fee for the application support is 1,005. 100. I mean, yeah, 1,005. I just said 150,000. £1,005. Then for early bed. So for early bed, those that are ready to crack it on and all of that, we are between now and 25th of October, we are doing a discount of £1,300 for all of this service. So I will now leave the floor for question. I think I've covered, yeah. So I think I've covered. Then also, I need to mention that if you want a one-to-one session, let's say you have questions and all of that, and you think you want to have, things that maybe your visa situation or whatever it is very specific, and you need a one-to-one session. Yes, we do offer a one-to-one session. So my contact details of the team is here, so you can just reach out to any of these. I think it's faster if you reach out to any of these two numbers on WhatsApp, and you will get a message, and you can book in a one-to-one session. So I want to leave the floor for questions and answers. So thank you for listening. If you have any question, please just for the next at least 10 minutes, let's 10 to 5 minutes, let's take questions. So I'll just call the name as I'm seeing the number. You can use the emoji. So I have Oladipupo Oseni. So please fire him. Oladipupo Oseni, you have the floor, please.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So thank you very much for the enlightenment. So permit me to ask some questions.
All
So when you mentioned British, so I want to ask, can a British person who is not working, who is solely on benefits, can such a person be a director? That's number one
Absolutely.
question. Oh, okay, okay.
Yes,
Then,
absolutely.
you've mentioned the cost implication. So I want to know the cost implication. You said the solicitor £3,000 and your own
Yeah.
fee 1,500.
Yeah.
So it encompasses all documents you made mention of, apart from me bringing the British person.
Yeah. So all the what's it called? All the costs, for example, the cost I've given you is the cost of the service. All right. For
Okay,
example, when you want to submit the application, Home Office
okay.
charge for because you are a small organization, Home Office charge £523. So you will be the one to pay for the cost I've given is just cost for the service, not cost for the application.
I
All
think
right.
I will appreciate it if you can help us draw out the other costs that are involved, those that are going to home office, so that those that are interested can know how to buckle up. Then the
Okay.
last question, at what point do you start paying tax? Even when the business have not started, at what point do you start paying tax?
Okay, good. Great. I mean, awesome question. So let me take the question one after the other. So for
Okay,
the cost I've explained here is the cost for our service. And the cost for and why I did not put the cost for home office is because it fluctuates. All right, it fluctuates. For
yes,
example,
for the
last
current
two,
one, yeah,
yeah. I mean, it fluctuates every now and then. Last 2 weeks, the cost to open a limited liability company was £13. It's not so, and it's not something that is like huge. So
yes,
yeah, you get so the cost for opening a limited liability company is £13, but as at last week, it has changed to £50. All right. So the two costs you'll be incurring is the cost for opening a limited liability company, which is £50 as at last week. Then the cost of sponsorship application, I mean sponsorship license application, which is £523 for obviously you are a small organization, you are just starting. So for new, I mean small new organization is £523. So that makes it a total of £573 as cost that you will be burning outside of the service. Then I mentioned that for that sponsorship license, if you want to do priority, it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
everybody you get. It's not that is not compulsory. It is a choice. If you want to do priority, maybe you want it. You don't want to wait 8 weeks for feedback. You want to, get. You want to crack it on quickly. So, in most cases, home office allow for priority, and that is a £500. So you get feedback in 10 working days. So if you are doing priority, your total cost to home office and company house will be 1,573. But if you are not doing priority, it will be £573 from the service.
Okay, thank you very much. That is clear.
You're welcome. Then the third question was can you come again with the third question, please?
At what point do you start paying tax?
Yes, so in the United Kingdom, when you open a company newly, you start paying tax after 18 months of, so that's 1 year and 6 months. That is when you start paying tax.
Irrespective of whether you start operation or not.
Of course, if you have not started operation, then there's no tax to pay. because
Okay.
if you didn't work, you didn't do anything. There's no tax to pay. It's just to show them your account. That's I mean, there's nothing. You get what I mean? But if you
Yeah,
started
yeah.
operation, and it's not like maybe just tax. It's based on taxation is based on what you turn
What
out
you earn.
as profit. You understand? Or
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you earn.
Because the reason why I'm asking, where we are coming from, I
Yeah.
know they give a time limit as well in Nigeria, but thereafter, either you earn money or not, there are some service charge
Tax
that
you
you are
have to pay.
expected to be paying. Yeah, so that's why I asked that
Okay, no,
question.
you pay nothing if you do nothing, if you
Okay,
did not
okay,
do any business. So,
okay. Thank you very much.
you're welcome, Oladipupo. I think we have Opeyemi, then Olasukomi. So I'll take Opeyemi, then I take Olasukomi. Thank you.
Very much for the presentation so far.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Um, my question basically, you said we can start any business aside, well, that you could help us through any business aside the healthcare and the restaurant business. So I was
Yes.
asking, is virtual assistants a kind of business they offer COS in the UK?
Yeah, when you say virtual assistants, what do
Yeah.
you mean by virtual? What do you assist people with virtually?
Virtual admin.
Virtual admin.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is, when I have a consultation with you, you
Mm.
tell me what, services you want to
You render.
offer
Okay.
or you render, then we are able to come up with a very solid case for you. So
Okay.
why I would not that we cannot do care, but care it
Yeah.
takes
No, I
it
understand.
takes a year and most people that need this kind of thing, they always need it between 0 to 6 months. And
Right.
for care, I cannot guarantee the maximum I can guarantee is a year or two. So that
Mm-hmm.
takes a long while, and it's really capital intensive
Mm.
as well. So for a migrant, I wouldn't, if you are not settled yet, I wouldn't advise going into such business when there are other businesses that
Mm.
will spend little or no money, and even you'll be eligible for grants, you'll be eligible for sponsor, for loans and all of that. And these are some of the things a lot of migrants don't know in this country,
Mm.
that when you start doing business, even if it is £50 that is coming into your account in a
Mm-hmm.
month, you can take the kind of loan you are eligible to finance your business is crazy. It's crazy. I supported someone to start a business sometimes last year,
Mm.
and today she's got capacity for today the business. She's got capacity to take loan of over £250,000,
Wow.
and ask me at what percentage. It's a crazy percentage at 1.2.
Wow.
And to start paying after 2 years, not
Wow.
to pay immediately. So, and these are things that are open to a lot of people. That's why I said this environment, we are coming from, permit me to use the word, we are quite smart people.
Mm.
And that's the fact. We are coming from a place where, we do a lot of things under, push and all of that. But this environment is really, really good for business to thrive. And people don't know that. People just think it's very difficult to get into this business space. There are laws there. Yeah, there are laws. So far, you are law abiding and you do the right thing and you are not greedy. You will make good money. And
Mm.
trust me, you will make good money than that salary job that you think you want to, you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, thank you very much for answering that question. So my second question is linked to the tax question that my the other man
All of
asked.
the people. Yeah.
Yes. So you if in 18 months you've not started earning anything, obviously you will not be paying tax. But
Yeah.
at some point, you given license for, say, I mean, you've been given COS for, say, 5 years, you
Yeah.
know, and in that 5 years they expect that you start earning something. What if you don't? What happens? Do they like take back the COS, or what happens?
Okay. So, thank you for asking. That's a very, very valid question. So
Allow me, sorry to cut in. I think that's also my question. That if you say no work, no tax,
Mm-hmm.
and then you already have COS,
Mm.
So what becomes of your COS?
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So let me
Or
just
will you be granted COS when they know that when you are not even turning in anything in terms of tax and things like that? Yeah. Thank you. So that you can answer it all together.
Together. All right. Thank you very much, Olasikomi. So I'll start with the last question, which is I'll just say that if you do not have anything in your account, even at the point of starting doing the application, you will still be granted your sponsorship license. You don't need to even have, all we need is just have an account so that when you start doing business, there is an account to, do your taxation and all of that. You get what I mean? So you don't need to have money in your account to start doing business. All right. If you had the money, you wouldn't want to be doing business just maybe the way you started. You might most likely want to open a large enterprise and all of that. So that's one. Now, when we talk of tax, I think we should be very explicit. A lot of people ask about corporate tax. So let's break it down. All right. So corporate tax, you are not paying corporate tax if you are not doing business. You get what I mean? If you have not done business, but corporate tax filing is after 18 months of you starting your business. That is corporate tax. Now, when you have sponsored, let's say, for example, you are husband and wife, you have sponsored yourself or you have sponsored your husband. Whoever you have sponsored, be it yourself or whoever you're sponsored on your business, you would need to pay what we call employer's NI, because and you need to show that that person is receiving salary. So, for example, you have sponsored your wife, and let's say you are paying your wife 30,000, or you sponsored yourself, you are paying yourself 30,960 pounds per annum. I don't know what that is in a month. I think about 2,580. Yeah. I think 2,000. Yeah, about 2,580 pounds a month, or 2,000 or thereabouts in a month. That's 2,000 you want to pay yourself. It is expected that 2,000 you take out NI and income tax. Just like the way you do your normal, most of us work today. When you earn, let's say you earn 2,000, there'll definitely be a tax on that you're earning. So that's on that your 2,000, you need to take out income tax and NI, employee NI from that money, and pay that to the HRMC, then pay yourself the rest of the money. You understand? So let's say I want to pay myself 2,500. So I pay income tax and employee NI of, let's say, about 200 to 300 pounds. And you pay yourself 2,002, then 300 pounds goes to 300 pounds goes to HRMC as tax on your salary. And this is important because by the time you are doing your ILR, like Okoyemi asked, by the time you want to do your ILR in 5 years' time, these are some of the things that Home Office do check, that for this person to be qualified for ILR, has he been paying tax in this country? You understand? Has he been paying tax and NI? Because of course we know NI is eventually your money, but at old age when you are 60. But has he been paying income tax and NI? So you need to be compliant to paying yourself that money. So that's why for me, I mostly encourage spouse to do this route, because if, except maybe that your business, you can hit the ground running, your business can start generating enough money. You understand? Because you just have 20 hours to work. For example, if I sponsor myself for my business, I will just have 20 hours. I can work any hours on my business, but outside my business, I'll just have 20 hours to work somewhere else. Yes, but that 20 hours, you cannot do care because it's a skilled worker visa. You can do any other skilled work, any skilled work whatsoever, but you cannot do care. Care is not a skilled work. Okay. Or I would say, that is the way the land, I mean, UK law has classified it. Care is not a skilled work. You can do any other job but care. All right. So I don't know any other job you want to do where 20 hours will be sufficient to pay yourself, but except your business is, you can hit the ground running with your business. If you can hit the ground running with your business and you can conveniently pay yourself, which is fine, but you have 20 hours to work. So that's why I advise that, okay, if you are a spouse or if you are two people coming together, is only if one person is on that what's called on the business visa, the other person becomes dependent, and the dependent can do full-time work and all of that to support the business while the person on the business is doing the business, and of course can still do extra 20 hours to make the whole thing up. So I hope that clarifies your question, Opeyemi.
In a way, yes, but it still does not answer the other one where
Yeah, which is
will they retrieve the COS back from you if they see that you're not meeting the you're not earning anything, you're not, that would be for the, not the income tax now, it will be for the other tax, you're not paying that
corporate.
in 18.
You need to be
Corporate tax.
specific. Do you mean corporate tax?
So if in 18 months you're not paying corporate tax, which means you're not doing business yet, will they take back the COS from you?
No, like I said, it is expected that you are not paying any tax until after 18 months. And after 18 months, if you have not done business, they are not taking your license, even if you have not done business. The only reason, you understand, the only reason why they will take your license is what I have explained during my presentation. When you start doing shady things, you are bringing in 20, 30 people, and they are not saying, when it comes to, you get what I'm saying, they are not saying valuable stuff. You are not making effort. Everybody knows that to start business is a lot of work. You get what I mean? At times it could take you 2-3 years to to really stand. So the leeway is there. But what is most important? So even if you don't do anything, even for 3 or 45 years, it does not affect your ILR or your business. Is there?
All right.
All you just need is just send them your account statement. They can see it. You can ask an accountant to do that for you, or you can even file that yourself. That's it. They know it's justified. But you need to, the condition is that, but while you are doing that, you need to be servicing
the income tax.
The income tax and NI for whoever is on that place, so that the person can get NI. That's it. So I might want, great. I might want to take 1 or 2 more questions, then we can call it a day. So I mean, all right. Any more questions? I think I've answered Oladipupo Opeyemi. You can please bring your hands down so that I know those that still have questions. Thank you. Just help me bring your hands down if I've answered your question. Okay. Oladipupo, I've answered your question. Can you please bring your hands down? Okay. Or you can drop your question on the chat so I take everything at the same time. All right. Aromaye, you have the floor, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, please, I would like to ask. I came in a little late, but I heard when somebody mentioned it that something about not supporting restaurant business. I want to know why. And then number 2, if it's still food business and it's not a restaurant, but you do it from the comfort of your home, your own kitchen, so is it valid enough for sponsorship?
Okay, thank you. Okay, great. While I answer a question, Tema, please drop your question on the chat. Yeah. So for food business, yes, food business, you can sponsor yourself for food business. But the route to sponsorship, this kind of sponsorship for food business is, how do I put it, is a very, very complicated process. I would not, don't let me use the word complicated process so as not to discourage you, because I'm very careful of my words. it's not as straightforward as the rest of the other business. You know, I don't know, for example, if you are from Nigeria, if you want to venture into anything food, you would need to have NAFDAC approval. All right? All right, Tema. You need to have,
Okay.
you need to have NAFDAC approval. The same thing in the UK. If you want to venture, even if you are cooking in your bedroom, you get what I mean? You will
Yes.
need to get that. I've forgotten their name now. There's a food agency, and in getting their approval, their requirements, no, it's not it's not something you can rush in under 2-3 months. Their requirements actually takes time. They want to come, they are going to taste your food, they want to see your space, you know, a lot of, I mean, it's a lot. There's standard when it comes to food, you know, all of those things, and they come intermittently. So it's a lot of requirements when you want to cook food for people, for the public to eat. So that's why I personally don't venture in that, because it takes time to, if you have the time for, let's say, a year or two, we could run that for you, but that would be a separate cost in terms of even our service. All right, that would be a separate cost. But like I said, it's not that type of thing that you would do under 3 months or 4 months. This is a type of thing you would do in a year plus. All right, because it really takes time to fulfill all their criteria. That's it. So, but you can sell, then I then say you can sell food, raw food, not cooked food, like all these African store. So, for example, in fact, I've done for one African store just of recent, she got a license. So you can do African store, which is raw food. It makes sense. But when you start doing, you need to draw that thin line when you say you want to do cooking. So another way I could maybe give you an advice, if you are very much interested in cooking, is that do African store, get your license. When you get your license, then expand your business to be doing cooking. But of course, when you are doing cooking, you make sure that you have the necessary approval of the organizations in charge of cooking. So at that point, you don't need us. It's just your own thing. But you
Sorry
could
to
do,
cut in.
yeah.
Yeah. When you say a local store, do you have to have a physical store, or can you do it from the comfort of your home?
You can do it from your home or from your office, but however, there must be clear demarcation. There must be clear, if I need to come in to buy stuff, I need to,
Okay.
yeah, you get what I mean? I could come in from your backyard, and your kitchen or your dining is set for me to buy stuff, and of course, so there must be clear demarcation to be that when people want to come in to buy, they can come in from a different entrance you use to enter your house, so you can be using the front stuff. Okay.
What if you decide to do it online?
No,
It's not acceptable.
you can sell online, is acceptable, but you will need to have a physical office. So
Yes, have a physical office, but
yes, yeah,
to
you can sell online.
customers can order online. Then you just do delivery.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
works.
that's absolutely, yeah, that works. Absolutely fine. That works. That works. So let me read the next question. So I think I might just where's the next? Is it Olamide? I think this. Okay, can someone in Nigeria just drop your questions on the chat? Let me read an answer. Can someone in Nigeria be eligible for this? Yes. I know someone who is on a new entrant skilled worker visa and still does 20 hours in care. That's the person's cup of tea. When he wants to apply for ILR, he will get the feedback. Because you need to, I mean, I don't subscribe to, is whatever whoever wants to do. I don't subscribe to people going against the law. If you have a skilled worker visa, you should not be doing care. Care is not a skilled worker visa. In fact, it's expressly stated on your visa, on your what's it called, visa confirmation, the email you receive from home office, that the kind of work you can do from this employer, that other work must be in the same professional category. So if you, for example, got a skilled worker as a business consultant or as an IT person, then you take that 20 hours to work in care. That's two different things. So that I don't have authority on that. So is that person taking risk? So,
excuse me, can I ask a question about that, please?
Yeah.
Please, can I ask a question about that?
Okay.
What if the person is an height in NHS? Can he still work as a care?
I think this is solely to people starting business. What's it called? Like I said, the law is very clear. If he has a skilled worker visa, whether in NHS or whatever, even if he works in NHS, if he's given a skilled worker visa, he will pay IHS. That's to let you know that this is a skilled work, not an healthcare something. So if he then goes ahead
in this case, I'm talking about myself. I didn't pay IHS. The NHS pay IHS.
Then you are in care, not skilled worker.
But in my COS, skilled worker, but as a business information, as a manager.
Maybe we can take this conversation outside of this space. Please.
All right, I'll give
Thank you.
I can actually contribute to what he's saying. Do you mind?
I mind, please. Thank you, because I mean that's out completely out of the scope of this session. If I'm paying income, let me understanding that you need a lease to apply for this license. Do you necessarily need to continue with the office space if you can continue with the business owner? Yes, you need to have an office space for correspondence, because when you say online, even if you do your business online and all of that, you need to have an office space for correspondence. It's very important, so that you should, in case you want to receive emails from maybe home office or company house, or any letters and all of that, you need physical office for correspondence. So yes, you can do your business online. There's no reduction and all of that, but you need to have what's it called? You need to have a what's it called? An office. If I'm paying income tax money, that shows that the business is making money. So how come I'm not making money? I'm not sure I understand the question, Tema. What kind of business can one do on self-sponsorship? With it, can I sponsor family and others? How long does it require? I want to believe this person asking this question just came in, Constance. You just came into this session. Unfortunately, I might not be able to take this question because I'd already explained all of this before now. Let me go to Tema. Tema, if I'm paying income tax monthly, that shows that the business is making money. So how come I am not making money?
Should
Do you
I
want to
explain
explain?
by
Yeah,
what?
please.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I mean by that is that the UK government has given us 18 months window that if your business is not making money, you might not pay tax, or even if it's not making money, even if it's making money, you will pay tax after 18 months. So and you said that even with the window, that 18 months window, we should ensure that we always service the income tax, which is the employee, that's the sponsored person.
Yeah,
So if
that's
we are
right.
if we are servicing the sponsored person, which is the employee, where are we getting the money from? So it should always be from the business. So if it's from the business, how are we not paying the tax?
Yeah, so basically,
point?
I get your point. So because if you are not doing business and you just pay yourself, like for example, let's say pay yourself into the business account so that you can take out income tax and all of that. The accountants can see it. The what's called the banks sees this. They have the record, so all of there is very crystal clear for HRMC and Home Office to know that yes, you are at least you are servicing, because that is the primary condition. So far, you are servicing your income tax, and then you have met the regulatory compliance. You understand? So you are fine. So of course, you definitely there isn't any profit. Even let's say you do business and your business is bringing in the exact money as your, before you pay tax. Tax is paid on what is left after you remove your expenses, and salary is an expenses. You understand? So when you have paid yourself salary, whatever is left is what will be taxed. So if you have not been able to if you have not been able to pay yourself salary, then there's nothing to tax. That is the law. You understand? So salary is an expenses. So once you are able to, let's say for example, you pay money into your account. Let's say you pay 2,500 into your account and you then take it out as salary. You put the narration salary, then the rest, let's say you pay back 2,002 to yourself, 300 goes to HRMC. So if even at the end of 18 months, when they see your account, they know that this is expenses. So there is no profit. You understand? It's not like maybe you are hiding anything. If there is indeed a profit, you would pay profit on, you would pay what's it called? Tax on profits after removing business expenses. Is it clear?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, definitely.
So, Constance, I will just attempt your question under 30 seconds so that we can. This session is supposed to be an hour, and we are 9 minutes after. So, what kind of business can anyone do on sponsorship? Any kind of business except for healthcare and what's it called? Healthcare and cooking food. Let me specify cooking food business. Those two business we do not. We do not support people. Not that you cannot be self-sponsored, but those ones takes time. An average of, I'll just put it 2 years. So we don't do that. Yes, if you sponsor yourself or your wife or your partner, yes, you can sponsor your family and your children, just like any other. Because it's skilled worker visa. How long does it take? And it takes an average of 2 to 3. It takes an average of 2 to 3 months. I have it here. It takes an average of 2 to 3 months. I don't know if I'm still sharing my screen. Then what's it called? The requirements are listed. The requirements out. You need a settled. The most requirement for you is just to get a settled British citizen and an office space. That's all. The rest we will take care of the requirements for you. So I believe that answers your question. All right. Elizabeth, I think this should be the last question, then we can call it a day. Elizabeth, please, you have the floor.
Oh, I already answered my question. I'll just remove my hand now.
Okay. All right. So if you want to, let's say you have more questions you want to ask, because of, we can't keep people and everybody here for as long as we like, because time is money. So if you want to, maybe you need more clarity as to what you want and all of that, I'm sharing my screen now. I want to put the number on the chat for you. You can drop a WhatsApp message on the number, then we can have a we can have a one-to-one chat. If you want. And okay, yeah, I think I just dropped it on the chat now. Second, I'm dropping it. Yeah, so I've dropped the number on the chat. You can pick up the number and just send us, message on WhatsApp. Then we can book a one-to-one session. So mind you, the one-to-one session is £50 and it's going to be 1 hour. It's a paid session. This session is a free session. So you can ask every question you want to ask, whatever you want to ask. And why we have tagged it is because we don't want to waste our valuable time. And there are a lot of people that are really just about gathering information and not doing things. And when I spend 1 hour of my time with someone that is not with, so I would not want to disenfranchise people that they're eligible, or how do I put it, people that are really serious about doing business. So I don't waste my time around with a lot of people. So for those that are interested in one-to-one session for this, so it's £50 for a session. And because, like I said, the £50, if you are proceeding with starting up the business and this is for us, that £50 will be taken out from your service fee. So, for example, your fee is 1,005. So that means that all you need to pay left is £1,450. So, in the real sense, we are not collecting money for that session, but it's kind of we are using it to gate people that are not really interested but just out there to waste valuable time. Before we came up with that idea, we've had a lot of people waste our valuable time, and at the end, they are really, in fact, some of them could even be on tier 2 already, and they are just trying to get information, and that's all. So that's why we've pegged that session. It's £50, but the £50, like I said, if for somebody going into business, that £50 you would be taken out of your fee. If you are registering between now and 25th of October, your fee is 1.3, and that £50 will be taken out. But if you are registering afterwards, it's 1.5. And of course, even for our fee and the lawyer's fee, you can pay instrumentally. It's not like you have to pay everything at once. You can pay instrumentally. We can discuss that and agree some form of instrument payments and while we progress with the application. So I think that is crystal clear. So for one-to-one mentorship, just pick the WhatsApp, any of the 2 numbers you have there, drop a message on WhatsApp, just drop a message to say one-to-one session, then we'll respond to you with what you need to do. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time today. Do have a productive and a happy weekend. So I'll just leave this screen open, so for as many people that want to pick the numbers and drop a message. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, Olamide. Bye.
Yeah.